afternoon.
Good afternoon. You and I are both early, and that's awesome.
Yeah. I thought you might be. I wasn't sure, but
I
thought I'd
am.
give
I
it.
am. I
Yeah,
remember in scouting, the old adage was 15 minutes early is never late. So I figured,
that,
yeah,
that's
great
correct.
minds do think alike. Well, hello. How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm perfectly pleasant on this wonderful spring afternoon. I am ready for scenario two here. Well, welcome to you, sir, and welcome to everybody, anybody and everybody that's watching this after the fact. I can report that the viewership from the first episode, which was just posted a day or two ago, has been the single most viewed video on my channel. So thank you to everybody who's watching. Obviously, there is some anticipation about the upcoming release for Hood Strikes North. So we're glad you're tuning in, and the comments have been great, and we really appreciate the support. So thank you for that. And today we have a special. Well, how do we describe this? So if you went back and if you have watched the On to Richmond scenarios, then you know that there was a series of two or three episodes scenarios that were kind of all linked together under the aegis of the 7 days battles, and that is very similar to what we're doing here today. So episode one was we played it back to back, and that was it was called Here Come the Rebels, and it was the one turn starter scenario to get you on the path. So if this is your first experience with great campaigns, that is a perfect scenario to start with. It is akin to the old South Mountain scenario, which we all know and love as a one turn scenario. It gets you pushing counters and rolling dice and attacking and defending. Well, today with scenario two, we are going to dive really feet first into the 7 turn scenario, which is called the Race for Columbia. And whereas last week was sort of the first day of that scenario, this is the whole schmear. This is the whole 7 days. And then the next scenario we do, scenario three, which is called A Great Chance Was Lost, where I've had the pleasure of playing that against Joe Balkowski, that will be the last 2 days of what we're going to be doing here today. So that's neat. You're going to see a little bit of early, then you're going to see the whole thing, and then you're going to see just the last couple turns of that as 3 separate scenarios. So it's all going to be very similar to you. By the time you're done with it, you're going to know this territory backwards and forwards, I think. But this is great because you get to see both Roger and I how we are both going to approach this, full 7 turns. Now, don't let that scare you away. 7 turns in this case, it's a modest counter density. So there's not a lot moving around here. So basically, this setup is very similar to last week. And then some more will be added, more for the Confederate side, which is what Roger will be playing today. And it will gear up as we get into turns 5, 6, and 7. I think you're going to see a lot of moving parts. So, do you have any thoughts before I go through all the special notes for this particular scenario?
Interesting, as you said. Great minds think alike. Yeah, I thought this. Last week was sort of wasn't the kiddie pool, but it was the shallow end of the pool. This is in the deeper end. As you said, a dive. Yeah, I've got some thoughts on the scenario. I'll let you go through it, and this is actually kind of jumped ahead. I should have looked at scenario one more. I was looking at this because this has got some intriguing twists.
It really does, and that's the stuff that always keeps me coming back. It's like, oh, that's a great little twist on something you've seen 100 times before, but it's just that little modification that makes it even sweeter in this scenario. Um, so yeah, I mean, don't let the breadth of this, with 7 turns, scare you away. Again, it's I think repetition is a great way to learn things. So we're seeing the same pieces and parts and the same mechanics when we go through this. You're going to see about 4 or 5 elements that are very similar to exactly what we talked about last week. But it's neat. How else do you describe it? It's neat. Well, thanks, Patrick. That helps me very much. Um, well, let's dive in. As Roger said, we'll circle back and we'll do some thoughts right before we get started. But let's give you the full setup here. This is scenario number 2, the Race for Columbia, as Hood's Confederate Army of the Tennessee initiates its long-delayed offensive from northern Alabama into central Tennessee 2 Union Corps under the command of Major General John Schofield rushed northward toward Columbia to avoid being cut off from the major Union base at Nashville by the onrushing rebel army. The last major Confederate offensive of the Civil War is underway. This is 7 turns. It is November 23rd to November 29th, 1864. Now, as we said, there's a bunch of special rules. I will go through them more or less in detail. Some of them are very similar to what we talked about last week, so I will give them sort of short shrift, and I will focus on the major modifications to this scenario today. And next week, when we go through this again, you will blessedly not have to hear all this again. So this is your chance to hear all the special rules for it. Special rule number 1, on the first turn, the Union player, that is me, I will automatically win the first initiative with no die roll. And then after that, we do initiatives as per normal. And in this particular scenario, tied initiative die rolls will be in favor of the Confederate player. This is the first time in this module we have seen wagon trains. Giddy up! We got wagon trains A, B, and C here. And they have special rules, which I'll circle back to specifically about how they move and some of the fragility of moving those eggs and all that good stuff. Union consolidation. This is similar to where you can take subordinate units and you can kind of accrete them to larger units. This is something that the Union player can do as part of, or as an action in lieu of movement. I can consolidate some of these units. Basically, Ruger up here at Columbia, when he brings units into the same hex as him, they can actually merge up and take their manpower and add to Ruger. So they're again in lieu of a turn. So I will get the initiative. I will say this unit is now consolidating with the larger unit, and then it disappears. We'll take it off the map, and then the manpower will get moved up. There are some specifics that we will kind of address as it comes up. When and if I do it, we will talk about it and how it works. There are some limitations. Once again, like we saw last week, these Union cavalry here under Hatch, he can control both Kuhn and Croxton, even though Croxton is not officially his subordinate. Moore, again, just like we saw last week, Moore is in Nashville, and he will get train movement. But in this case, he cannot move before turn number 2. So he cannot move on turn 1 at all. But then, just like last time, I can follow the rails up to 43 hexes, which I believe Roger pointed out, is...
he should be able to get all the way to Columbia by my count.
That's right. But he will get 2 fatigues by doing so, and that is really the one and only railroad movement for this scenario. The Union also has some unit restrictions. Basically, those are reflected here. Once again, major kudos to Alberto for the scenario design. He's put the turn marker indicated on there, and these are all completely automated. So when we hit the recover button, we don't have to advance the turn marker at all. It will actually move the turn marker to the next day, and it will automatically delete the turn markers for the ones that become activated on those turns. So that is very helpful to us. One of those things that we're spoiled about by playing this on Vassal. At the beginning of turn number 3, I, as the Union player, will roll a die, and I can get some manpower enhancements. And on a roll of 1, I get nothing, but on a roll of 2, 4, I can get a single cavalry unit and add its manpower by 1. On a 3 or 5, I can choose an infantry unit, including regiments, and increase its manpower value by 1. If I get a 6, I can choose 1 cavalry and 1 infantry, and they will each get 1 manpower, which is kind of nice. Buford and Jackson, which we saw last week, those are here. They're under Forrest's control. They are marked as turn 2 there. And the biggest nuance to this whole game, the element of chance, and I know Roger's, he's just waiting to see how this is going to work for him, is the arrival of Confederate units. Now, to simulate that slow, rambling march up from northern Alabama to bring all of Hood's forces into Middle Tennessee, there is the element of chance. There's going to be a die roll that Roger will have to do. So, beginning with turn 2, at the start of every action cycle, starting with turn 2, he is going to determine how many arrivals he gets. So, he will roll a die, and there will be some modifications, basically, as he goes farther into the game. There's more likelihood that they're going to arrive, so that die roll modifier will be less punitive. But early on, it's -7 to his die roll. And based on whatever range of values he gets with that modified die roll, then I'm opening up the reinforcements here. You can see that there are turns 1 and 2 are already set. They're in gray. That's Forrest and Buford and Jackson. They're already on the board. And then we have all of the turn 2 and beyond variable sets. Now, each one of those sets are one line there. And as he rolls the die, he may get one or more of those sets. And he can bring them in and place them in the range that's listed there. If they go into the top line where it says F0, then they come in with no fatigue. However, for the expenditure of one fatigue, they get a little broader capability, more strategically located. Perhaps Roger would want them. Then, they're more tired because they've had harder marching to get there, but that gives you some options. So you can see all of these sets here through 1 through 9. Roger will make rolls every turn until he has brought all 9 of them onto the board. And that's all he gets for the entirety of the game. So it is possible with poor die rolling, and I'm not trying to jinx you, Roger, that Forrest and the cavalry will be doing all the hard work for this whole scenario without any infantry support. But eventually, I think with turn 5, you're getting positive modifiers to your die roll. So they do want them to come in at some point. And then let's see. The last thing here is we have the possibility starting with turn 3. Yes, starting with turn 3, we have the possibility of late rain. So normally in a game, in the advanced games, you have your random events at the beginning of the turn. It's possible for rain, as we've seen. Well, in this one, it's late rain, meaning that it could occur during the action cycle. So we will keep rolling our initiatives, and then the first time, provided each one of us has gotten an initiative in a turn in the action cycle, the first time we roll double ones, snake eyes, then rain will start. And then at that point, you treat it as if it had been raining throughout the day. There is no entrenchment as an action, and there is no crossing of minor rivers or major rivers because of the rainfall. So at fords specifically, you can still cross them at bridges, and you can't entrench as in the action, but because it's late rain, it's not so bad. You can still entrench during recovery, which means if they're at fatigue level 0, you can entrench and you could build bridges as per normal. So it's a modification of what we expect from rain, but it's not nearly as punitive as a full rain turn. And it is my job today as the Union player to score the points. How do I do that? Well, I have all of these, just like we saw last week, in Here Come the Rebels. This is literally a race. It is a race to Columbia and beyond. I'm trying to get all of these units here under Schofield and to his south. I need to get those units up north of Columbia without letting Columbia fall. That's a big part. But then I have to get them in a variety of ways. I need to either get them within 10 hexes of Franklin or 10 hexes of Nashville. That's one. Or I need to get them, there's a little more flexibility. If I can stay on a pike or within 3 hexes of a pike, I can establish a line of communication to them. And that line of communication can actually be up to 12 hexes. So within 3 of a pike, plus another 12 along the pike, that's potentially 15 hexes away from Franklin or from Nashville. As long as I do that for each division that does that and a wagon train, that is worth 7 victory points for me. So there's 5 infantry divisions and 3 wagon trains. So by my count, that is 8 possibilities times 7. So that's 56 victory points that are up for grabs for the Union player. Now, there are -2 for manpower losses for Union and +3 for Confederate manpower losses per manpower. And if the railroad station at Brentwood, and that is at 4910 here, so right there, if that railroad station is damaged or destroyed at the end of the game by the Confederate player, that is a -4 victory points. So I have to watch out for that. That's certainly vulnerable to cavalry raids. And if an undemoralized Confederate unit of any type, infantry or cavalry, occupies Columbia here, which is basically the rear guard here, then that's -12 victory points for me as the Union player, with an exception. It has to occur at turn 4 or earlier. Then that's -12 points. It can't be taken away. It just happens. It's a black mark on the Union. So if it happens on 5 or later, then, oh well, it's the fortunes of war. I'm already past that. I'm over the Duck River. I don't care.
Or if you've got your wagon trains within,
Within
6 or
range.
fewer hexes from Franklin.
Right. Yes. So if I've moved past it and I'm on my way to Spring Hill or Franklin and beyond, then I'm okay with that loss. But early on in the game, I have to prevent that from happening. So that's instructing what my infantry has to prevent from happening, or by bringing in more, or whatever the case may be. So that is a possibility. And going back to the line of communication, the other vulnerability to that line of communication is it cannot pass through a Confederate cavalry. They have to be undemoralized. So if it's less than 3 manpower or demoralized, then those zones do not count.
I do have a question
Sure.
on. They're saying a Union unit can trace a path of continuous hexes no more than 10 movement points in length.
Right. So if we, and that's true. In all practical purposes, we're assuming roads. For me, if so, that is a really good question for a follow-up. If it were to rain on the last day, would that count?
Yeah, that was one of my questions. And the other question was, what if let's say you have a Union unit, a division at 10 hexes away, 10 movement points, and you have a wagon train between you and them. So that would be, you have to pay that 2 movement points to get through that wagon train.
Right.
How are they counting that?
I think that's counted for that's a really good question. I think it would be treated as if it was with no impediments.
Okay.
Yeah. Just whatever the natural road network or the natural terrain and road network would be used as a calculation for that.
Okay.
But yeah, that's it's certainly worth a follow-up question for who could we possibly ask. So yeah, that's a great question for Consim World or online somewhere. But we will see how that works. For the Union marginal is 40 points, so I can afford to take some losses, but there's a lot of hard marching and a lot of wagon train movement. The wagon trains are the most vulnerable part because anytime they get disorganized or anything like that, they suffer losses. So that's never good. Plus, there are some specifics about if they are north or south of the Duck River, which they'll come up when I'm rolling extended marches. That makes them even more susceptible to either losses during extended march or even flipping. So I think that's everything. Any more specifics we will approach as they come up in context. What do you think?
Well, obviously the random entry of the infantry is intriguing. It'll change. When they show up, will change what I can do. And I've really been looking at their decision to give us 2 entry points. And there's a fatigue. Are they doing the fatigue, as you mentioned, because it was a longer way to get there? So that historical, or is it to balance the scenario?
That is a good. Yeah, I wonder about that myself because it seemed to me that depending on where they were approaching from northern Alabama, that perhaps that's a more circuitous route that would have gotten them quote closer to Columbia or within better striking distance for marching. So it could be one and the same, but I think that is a really cool mechanic for this one. The one thing I didn't mention on this is this also has the protected sort of entry area box along columns 1 and 2 for the Confederates, so the Union forces can never enter that just like in turn one, or in scenario number
Yeah.
one. Yeah. A lot of variability on this one. As we've seen, there's no guarantee that Union forces are going to march worth a damn.
Yes,
Or
there's that.
or that Confederate infantry is even going to show up, and it could rain all the time. You
Yeah, there's a
just
good
never know,
chance.
right?
Because once we get all the infantry on here, we'll probably be doing what 30 to 40 initiatives per day.
I would
So
think so. So this
so
it could be a quick game. I mean, 7 turns just seems like a long. I mean, we've seen very long 7 turn games that we've broken into 3 sessions. This one could be 7 turns in 2 hours for all we know. You
yeah,
just never know.
yeah.
Well, I will then say good luck to you, sir, and
Good luck to you.
definitely looking forward to this. And I I can't do much on turn number one other than I could march Schofield. So I have no leader transfers. I think they do this in such a way so we don't have to agonize about leader transfers. So I will then get my free initiative, and I will surely activate Cox with Schofield. I'm going to get my movement once again of +1. So here is the movement, and it is a 6. So Schofield will go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. It's almost like the exact location of the setup for scenario number 1.
Yeah.
That's cool. All right, so I've done my free initiative. I can now roll as per usual, and Roger will win ties. So here we go. And it is Union once again. I think it is probably a good thing to continue Schofield up the road. So he will go to 2. Here's his movement. It's another 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And here's the next initiative. And it is now Rogers.
I think I'll just go ahead and probably make the first mistake of the day. I'm going to pass. I'm going to let those guys recover.
Okay.
Rucker and Biffle.
Okay. I'm going to take Cox to 3. See if we can make it to Columbia just to reinforce. So here's their movement. He gets it. Here's an extended march now of +1. He's okay. So he'll go 1, 2, and settle into there. Initiative. It's mine again. I will pass.
I will continue passing as well.
All right.
So day 1 is over.
Day 1 is over. So I'm going to press the recover. Okay. So when we look at it, it has moved the turn marker to turn 2, which is awesome. And it has removed all of the turn markers, and it did not build any entrenchments on anybody. So that worked perfectly. Thank you, Alberto. Let's see. I am now beyond 10 for Schofield. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so he is not going to transfer. Stanley's just going to stay where he is. Hatch will stay with them. So if you'd like to transfer a leader, you certainly can.
Yeah, we'll move Forrest to down with that stack to there.
Okay. Well, then I think we are ready then for...
I believe I get to die roll for infantry.
Let's see if we get the arrival.
I wasn't going to forget that. Here we go. I need a big number.
So a -7 on this one. Oh, look at
got
you!
It.
So it's a -1, which
be
means you get two of them
at fatigue 1.
at fatigue level 1. So they really marched to get there. So you get the first 2 sets.
Okay, so that's going to be Lee and Johnson and Stevenson.
Mm-hmm.
This may be my second error of the day.
And right, you could put them at the expanded one and put them at fatigue level 2, I guess it would be.
Which is what I'm going to do.
All right.
This is what I was trying to think through. It's a 7-day scenario, so I don't have to be in. And when you got to Columbia, I figured, okay, that's pretty much off the board for right now. So, yeah, we're ready for our first initiative, I think.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay, here we go. Initiative number 1, day 2.
And it's mine.
And it's Union.
All right. One valuable lesson I learned last time, and I've said this to new players, and gosh, if only I listened to my own advice, is you live and die by leader activations. And if you activate 3 units and then roll a 1, that's not a helpful leader activation. So the hard choice you have to make is sometimes When do you gamble and just do them one at a time, piecemeal, and get some variability to that? So I think what I'm going to do here is I'm going to activate Optic and Wagner with Stanley. Actually, you know what? I'm just going to I'll do Optic first by himself and send him out ahead. And I'll activate him with Stanley, so he'll get a +1 to this roll. So here we go. There we go, 4. So he'll go 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, initiative. It's mine again. We will do Whitaker and Wagner with Stanley. So here's a +1 to their march. I think it's a 7.
Oh,
He's going to transfer back to Whitaker, and Wagner's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And these guys will go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Initiative. Mine again. Guess it's time to start the wagon trains a moving. So we'll start with wagon train A. Now with wagon trains, you can activate them with a cavalry leader or an infantry leader. With an infantry leader, they get the bonus of normal +1. With the cavalry unit, you treat them as if they were a cavalry unit, and they would get the leader bonus, but then you cut that in half and you round up. So they, you got like a 9, then it would be 4.5, so they get a 5 movement, which is kind of neat. But I have no leaders nearby, so wagon train A, here's his march. It's a 5. So he will go 1, 2, 3, 4. And since he's going in where there's an infantry unit already, it's no harm, no foul. So that works. I mean, initiative, it is now yours.
okay. Forest is going to activate. I want to get that +3 on everybody. So we're going to activate Armstrong, Ross, Bell, and Crossland with Forest. Here's their movement. 2 die +3. 6. Wow, it's awful. Armstrong first. 1, 2, 3. Jackson and Forrest will go with him, and here's his extent march. He's okay. Here's Ross is going to go with him, and here's his extend march. 3. Here's Bell. They're just going to go cross country there. Extend march for Bell. He's okay. Crossland's just going to do cross country. Extend march for him. He's going to flip, and Buford, of course, going to go over there. Get Forrest on top. So not good job by Confederate Cab on that one. Initiative. It's mine. Jackson's gonna activate Crossland and Bell. Actually, he's just gonna do Bell. Crossland's not gonna go. Back him off. So he could potentially go away. Actually, activating Forrest is gonna activate Bell.
Gotcha.
So it'll be a +3 to his movement. There's our double ones. Doesn't count yet. So it's gonna be 4. Here's his extended. Here's Bell's extended march.
It's you get 5 with Forest, so yeah, 2 + 3.
Oh, right, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and Buford was going to go with him. Initiative. It's yours.
Waters by himself, so get a fatigue. And here's his movement. It's 3. Go 1, 2, and 3. Initiative. Confederate.
Chalmers is going to activate Rucker and Biffle. 2 dice +2. It's 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Biffle's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Initiative. It's yours.
Capron does not want to be surrounded, So he will march out of there. He gets a 5. So he'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Initiative. Take Capron again. And movement. 5 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Initiative. Alright. Move Waters again. Actually, no, we'll move Wagon Train C. So here's their movement. 3. So 1, 2, and 3. Initiative. 9. We'll move Post. Movement. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Initiative. We'll move Wood. Here's his movement. 2. 1, 2. Initiative. Yours.
We'll do Chalmers, so we'll activate Rucker and Biffle. Here's their movement. 1 die plus 2 is a 9. Go 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Biffle's gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9. Put them all in the same place for now. Initiative. It's mine again. Well, Lee is going to activate Stevenson and Johnson. Take them to fatigue 3. Here's their march. There we go. It's an 8.
All hell's a coming.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I forgot to do his extended march. He's going to flip. And here's Stevenson's extended march. He is not. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Initiative. It's mine.
You know you want to.
We're going to go ahead and take Stevenson and Johnson to T4. Here's their movement to 5. We'll do Johnson first. Here's his extend march. He is a 6. That's going to be +1 is a 7 with 7 manpower. I think is a losing 1. Yeah, he loses a manpower. He can go 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And here's Stevenson's extend march. He's going to flip. Wow, it's bad luck there. He's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The old Natchez trace. Initiative. Mine again. I'm going to activate Chalmers. Is going to activate Biffle and Rucker. Take them to fatigue 3. Here's their movement. 7 plus 2 is a 9. And here's Rucker's extend march. He's okay. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Here's Biffle's extend march. He's okay. He's just going to go to the same place. Initiative. Mine. Well, this is probably my 3rd mistake. Let's get it out of the way.
Your mistakes, sir, always have a habit of paying off, so I don't want to hear it.
Forrest is going to attempt an assault with Armstrong against Kuhn with Hatch. So he's going to go to fatigue 3. Here's the assault attempt. It's a 6, so it does not come off.
Forrest's feeling rather tentative today. or at least his
Yeah, that
subordinate is.
um, initiative. Mine. Golly, taking fatigue 4.
He sends back a note saying, "Yes, really."
I'm going to pass.
I missed my opportunity to get more in where he needed to be, so we will move more along the rails. He'll get 2 fatigues, and I'm gonna bring him all the way to Parks Mill there. See if we can't plug that gap before Chalmers goes a running. Uh, Initiative. It's yours again if you want it.
I'm going to pass again.
We will attempt to move some units here. We'll have Stanley activate everybody in range there. Wagner, Whitaker, and Optic, and the wagon train. So they'll all go to fatigue level 2. Here is their march +1. That's a good march. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Optic first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then the wagon train will just follow along. Alright, initiative. It is mine again. I will move post to 2. Here's his movement. 5. Go 1, 2, 3, 4. He has 1 left. Would Forrest like to do anything?
We're going to stand.
Yeah. Okay. We'll just end our march there. Initiative. Mine again. Waters will march to 2. Here's his movement. It's 2. So 1, 2. Initiative. Mine. Wagon C. Here's their movement. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Initiative. Yours.
Well, we'll take Buford will activate Bell. Take him to fatigue 4. There's their movement. It's 8, so it's MP of 10. There's extended march. It's okay. So they're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. He has 6 remaining.
That would be a normal attack.
It would be a normal attack. So he is going to not make an attack there. I can't afford to trade manpower losses. Initiative. It's mine. However, with the Devil Forest making the attempt, it's a little better.
That Devil Forest!
We shall attempt again an assault with Armstrong against Post this time. Armstrong goes fatigue 4. Here's the attempt to 2. This time it does come off. And so what I see is type of +1, tactical +2, flank of +1. There is no artillery. Now, does Forrest get another +1?
Yes, he does. Forrest? He gets the Forrest bonus.
Okay, so Forrest gets another +1, so that's going to be 1, 3, 4, 5 final.
Looks good.
Okay, +5 final. Wow. It's going to be one of those days, isn't it? +1 result.
Right.
So you stand your ground. Forrest is beaten DD, I think, for both of us.
Is a D and a D. That he has the option to withdraw, and I think he will come back 1 there.
Oh, makes sense. Initiative. Mine was a 6.
That's the roll I'm glad I didn't see.
Yeah, now I get the 1/6 split. That would have been nice. That would have been very nice. Anyway, I didn't get it, and I believe at this point I'm going to pass.
Okay. March wood to 2. Here's his movement. It's 1. So we'll get him out of the way. Initiative. Yours if you want it.
I'm going to
Okay.
pass.
Wagon B. Here's their movement. There we go. We go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Initiative. It is yours. Okay. Wagon B again. Here's their movement. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Initiative. That's mine. Don't want to really push these units too hard this early, so I'm going to pass.
I will pass as well.
Okay. So we'll end the day. Turn 2 is in the books. So hitting recover. Quick recover. Verifying that we are now on turn 3. That's good. Everybody looks like they have recovered. So what now with turn 3? You still have your rival Confederate units. Did I?
Yep.
And then now, starting with turn 3, we have the potential for late rain.
Yes.
Okay, so we roll double ones, provided we've each at least gotten an action, then we could have rain. So I have to now, this is where moving large convoys like this becomes so problematic. I have to assume that it's going to rain later today at some point.
Yeah.
There's always dark clouds over the Union, right? Okay, so I've got leader transfers. I'm going to move Stanley back down to Waters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. He could just make it.
Yep.
And Schofield down to Whitaker. And that will do, just to get some. Actually, he can go to. Let's get him to Updike. There we go. Updike. Hey, that's the word. All right. So he is now 3 away from everybody there. Those are mine.
I'll move Lee to Johnson and play Forrest where he is.
Okay.
So that's it for me.
All right.
Roll for infantry, and this time it's turn 3 is a -4. It's a -1, which is I can bring in 2 more, which is going to be variant 3 and variant 4, which is Hood.
Uh-oh.
So we'll bring them in. I'm going to bring them in here at 11. They come in with the fatigue. Claiborne.
Old Pat Cleburne.
Oh wait, I want to bring. Take that back. I want to bring Clayton in at the top of the board here.
Okay.
He's part of Lee's group.
That makes sense.
So he's going to be fatigue too. Claiborne gets a fatigue. And Chatham, of course. And Hood is now on the board. Okay.
So now I got to sweat. I got to sweat a little bit about Columbia. If you can get up there, that's not a good thing. All right. Now I will roll the first initiative. Here we go. It is yours.
Okay. Buford is going to activate Bell. Here's his movement. Wow, cab movement on this has just been awful. 6. Here's Bell's extended march. 4, he's okay. 1, 2. No, he doesn't have to do the 2.
Right, because I'm not. Right. No Zoc for me.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Initiative. It's yours.
Interesting. Well, we don't want that loss. So, well done, sir.
Roll up. I was going after wagon B.
I
Was really
figured.
where I was going after.
That's right.
But the die roll was so awful. I was like, oh crud! No, we'll
Hmm.
go after post instead.
This is where your chess knowledge comes into play. It's like, is he going to sacrifice the rook or the pawn? Post is a pawn. Um, Post will march to 2. Here's his movement. It's a 2. Here's his extended march +1. Eh. Eek. Eh. So he will lose a manpower. Oops, not float. Lose a manpower. There we go. That does change things a tad. So, guess I'll just have to go there. If you really want him, you'll come back for him, I guess, for a flank. Initiative. It's yours.
Forest will activate Crossland. It's going to go to fatigue 1, so there'll be no extended march. So this is 2 dice +3. 3 is 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 8. Initiative. Okay. Forest is going to activate Ross and Armstrong. Ross is going to fatigue 1, so he will not need extended march, but Armstrong is going to fatigue 2, and he's exhausted, so he will need an extended march. That's for Armstrong. So here's 2 dice +3, 7, so the movement point is going to be 10. Now we're just going to be able to do a 1 hex move. We'll move Armstrong first, so here's his extended. He's okay. Ross is just going to move, and of course the leaders are just going to jump on top of them. Initiative. It's mine. Okay, so now we're going to activate. We're going to attempt an assault with Armstrong against Post. So he goes to fatigue 3. This is an awful lot of work for 1 points.
Good, yes. Take the bait. Ha ha.
Yeah, it is kind of taking the bait. But I want to try to get broken through here, and this is about the only way I can think to do it. So this is his attempt. It comes off. So this is, I think, the same. No artillery. Type is a +1. Tactical is +2.
You got a ratio now, I think.
Ratio is a +1. Forced is a +1. And the flank is again going to be a +1 because everything comes off.
Not everything comes off. So you got
Really?
you got a full flank right now, and only 2 of them are going to come off because the hill still counts as a Zoc.
Oh, it's a hill, not a.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. So 6, 17, and 5, 8. So you get a +2 flank.
So it's 1, 3, 4, 5, 7. Final flank. Final.
Yeah, I think Mr. Post is about to go bye bye.
Okay, +7.
Yeah. Yeah. So, all right. So he is gone.
Wasted a lot of fatigues. Get 2 points.
Yeah. Well, I mean, luckily he lost that one on the extended march because if you had taken 2 there, that would have probably been. So he's gone, and I will give you a delete, and we will give you 1 manpower loss for the Union. Well done, sir.
And we won't be advancing. Oh, I don't know about that. That's debatable about that, but I will not take the hex.
Okay.
I will stay put.
Gotcha.
And initiative. It's yours.
Right. So now we will activate. Let's see. Schofield will activate Whitaker. He can activate, I believe, up to 5 units. I'm going to double check that as the district leader.
That sounds right.
5 infantry units and 3 wagon trains. All right, so good. So he's got 2 and he's got 3 and 2. So perfect. All right, so they're all going to go to fatigue level 2. And here's their movement +1. Yes. Okay. So let's take Wagner up to 1, 2, and Whitaker 1, 2. Well, that is not what I wanted, but It's okay. We'll adapt, and wagon train will just come up there. So everyone moved a little bit. Hooray! Initiative. It's yours.
Forrest is going to activate Bell under Buford, so he's going to fatigue 3. He'll need an extend march. And he's also going to activate Ross. He goes to fatigue 2. He's going to need extend march. Here's their movement plus 3. 11. Bell is going to go first. Here's his extend march. He's going to flip. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Here's Ross's extend march. He's okay. 1. Force is going to go with him. Jackson's going to stay behind. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's a restrict zone, so I can just go to there. Initiative. Yours.
Tension mounts. All right. Stanley is going to activate Wagon C and Wood. Here's their movement +1. 7.
Nice.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And Stanley will transfer to Wood. Go 1, 2, 3, 4. What would Forrest like to do?
2,
3 remaining.
7. I think I'm going to stand.
Oh, yeah.
We'll take a chance here.
All right. Yeah, I think we need to shut Forrest down here a little bit before he causes too much havoc. So I'm going to make a normal attack. Let's see how this goes. So it's a +0 attack, +2 for ratio, 3 to 1. And I've got 3 and you've got 2 artillery, so it is a -1 in rolling. And there is no flank or anything, so it is just a +1 attack. Tactical's a wash. So here goes. Union left, Confederate right, +1. It is +1. So it is a 1D for me and a D for you. All right, that's maybe helpful. I don't know. We'll see. It's now got me at -4.
I disorganized.
But you do have a voluntary retreat if you wish.
That would be how many hexes can I go?
Anywhere from 1 to 4.
Anywhere from 1 to 4.
Right. Same rules.
But I can't go into.
Right. No Zocs.
Can't go into no Zoc.
Right.
And the wagon train does have a zone of control.
Does.
But I tell you what, I think we will go 1, 2. We'll go to Chulahuka.
Nice little roadblock there.
That's not a bad spot to be.
Initiative. It is yours.
Okay, now this becomes interesting because I'm going to change what I was going to do with Rucker and Biffle. We're going to take them to fatigue 1. Chalmers. Here's their movement +2. This may change what I do too. 6. Rats, he says. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Initiative. Mine. Same 2 guys. Ruck going to fatigue 2. Exhausted, so they'll need a extend march for both. So here's their movement. 7 + 2 is a 9. Moving Rucker first. Here's his extend march. He's okay. It's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And to get into that terrain is a what team?
Is 5. It's 5 more for rough.
It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He doesn't have enough. He only has 4 remaining. So he's going to stop there. And here's Biffle's extend march. He's okay. He's just going to go to the exact same spot. Initiative. It's yours with 6.
Yep. Schofield will take the opportunity here. He'll activate 2 wagon trains and the 2 infantry again. So they go to 3 now. Here's their march +1. It's a good march. Okay. So wagon train B will go first. Actually, Schofield's going to transfer to Whitaker. Opdyke first. So he'll go extended. He's okay. So he'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And then wagon A, extended march. Now they're going to get +1 for being a wagon, +1 for being Union, and they do not get one south of the Duck River. So as long as I'm on this side, I do not get it. So once we get on the Spring Hill side, then we got to start rolling for that. So it's just a +2 for this wagon train, and he will flip. And he'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Alright, and then wagon train B, also a +2. He's okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7.
Flipped away.
Now, Whitaker. Let's see what Whitaker gets. He's a +1 on his extended march. He's okay. And 1, 2, with 5 remaining. What would Chalmers like to do?
We're going to stand again. My gosh.
By golly, by gosh, sir. Okay. Yeah, I'm not going to give you another one, especially with that creek in the way, so we will just hold there for the moment. Initiative. It is yours.
Maybe something else to worry about. We're going to take Rucker and Biffle to fatigue 3. Here's their movement. 6 movement points. Rucker first, extend march. He has to flip. He's going to go 6. He's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to Flatwood. Here's Biffle's extend march. 4. So he's got +1 for him.
Yeah, he's okay.
So he's going to be fine. He's just going to go join Chalmers down there. Cut wagon train C off. Initiative. It's yours.
Alright. Hatch will activate Kuhn and Croxton. March of +1. 12. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oops. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And Hatch 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Initiative. Yours.
Cheatham is going to activate Claiborne. Take him to fatigue 2. Here's their movement. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Initiative. It's yours. You know, usually I see a mistake when I watch our recordings. This time I saw it right away that I could have activated Chalmers' group with Forrest. Idiot. Sure, someone will point that out. Why did you activate?
Oh, yeah, back right, right when he was at 1520, right.
Yeah, I could.
Stanley will activate Waters. So here's their movement. 6. So he'll transfer to him. We'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we'll stop there. Initiative. Yours.
I'm on mute. I muted because the dogs
Hey,
are barking. I'm
that's
sorry.
okay. I saw
Yeah,
the 3-2 appear. I'm like, hey.
I, I moved Claiborne. He moved
Oh,
three, and
okay.
then he flipped with disorganization.
Gotcha. Okay. I see. Okay.
So
And it's mine then.
should
Okay.
have just passed. Would have been better.
All right. Hatch will activate Coon. Go to 2. Here's their march +1. 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Initiative. Uh-oh. It's time for rain.
Oh, it is. Yeah,
Damn it.
towards the end of the day.
Oh, why is Middle Tennessee like this, Roger? Tell me why, please.
It happens. You get rain.
Rain in the afternoon.
Just comes out of nowhere.
Nowhere. All right. It is still yours, of course, but it's raining now.
It is raining now, and so I think with that, I'm gonna pass.
All right. All right. Let's take Hatch. Hatch will take Coon to 3, and he will attempt an assault on Forest. So here's the assault attempt. And no, he says it's raining. Why would I do that? That's silly. Initiative. It's mine again. All right. I'm going to move Ruger. Increase his fatigue. Get rid of his entrenchments. Here's his movement. Yeah, figures. He'll just get on that side of the bridge, since bridges are our only means of getting across the river. Initiative. It's yours.
He's on the wrong side of the river, so yeah, I'm gonna pass.
Okay. I think I'm going to pass as well. So we will end the day, and I'm going to hit the regular recover, and there we go. Okay. So that did do what it needed to do. Cox is really dug in Columbia, and more is good. So check yours. We are now on, let's see, turn 4. So yes, this is your last opportunity to take Colombia. Boom, boom, boom. But
Yeah.
I've got a mess here. I mean, without a doubt, there's no uniformity to the Union here.
I've got a mess too, so I think it's.
Oh,
I kind of felt for money. I thought that would happen because it was like, man, I could not come up with how am I going to do this, and clearly, I had one idea and I changed my mind because I realized that I was going to make a play for Brentwood with
yeah,
Chalmers, and I realized, oh, he's going to be under, which he's now under a fort,
right.
so that wasn't going to work. Change my mind, keep changing my mind. Anyway,
Well, I mean, I see 3 or 4 potential centers of action here. We've obviously got Forrest down there in a box, which is really what I wanted, was just to prevent him from being able to move during leader transfer. Um, Obviously, Columbia is a rally depot point, so we got to figure out how to get these guys through there and on the road, and still protect it through turn 4. Of course, Hood is approaching. I've got the lowly guys up there that are now released, the 123rd Indiana and the 91st Indiana, them farm boys. So I want to get them. Well, originally I was like, I want to get them down there and consolidated, but now they're at least guarding that northern pass from Lee. But I so what's interesting about this to me is I've now played scenario 3, and I've seen the setup for that, how it basically stretches everybody out from Columbia to Spring Hill, which is ostensibly where we will probably be by the end of turn 4 or 5, with those last 2 turns being the real race between Franklin and Nashville. So this is really cool in that I got Chalmers sneaking around down there. I got Forrest in a box, and yet I've still got the Wood and Wagon C that I've got to get around them somehow. So you're certainly doing your level best here with your maneuvering. That's a testament to this game, of course.
yeah, I don't know. It's good. I think I have another
Mm-hmm.
infantry roll yet to
You
come.
do,
So
you
we're
do,
on turn 4.
right?
So no modifier on this roll. So it's whatever the die tells me. It's a 4, which is a 4 or more, which means I can bring in 6.
Holy cow.
4,
Is
5.
that all the rest of them?
All the rest of them.
Okay. Well,
Now where do
now
I
the big
want to put
decision,
them?
yeah, is where do you put them? And none of them come in fatigued, huh? Unless you move them outside their staging
If I
area.
put them up on the, yeah, I keep wanting to say the north. It's the west
Right.
to the top.
And I'd be curious to ask the designers this when I get a chance: is the significance of that farther west? Is it because they're making use of the Natchez Trace? Was that the natural conduit, or is it because it allows them to flank around the duck in such a way to get at Spring Hill? I'm curious.
That
Maybe
was what I.
maybe when I
That's
read
what
the
I was
book.
hoping for. Yes.
Right.
Yeah, this part was kind of skimmed over by Winston Groom's book. I know historically this is one of the things that drove Hood crazy was this, not just the Spring Hill, but the whole Columbia. He thought he had a good chance of catching him at Columbia. So I believe I'm going to put the other division, Stewart's division, is going to go here.
I don't want to be
Goodness
Johnny
me.
Weatherman here, but if it's going to be rainy sometime today, I know I wouldn't be putting them on regular roads, but that's just me.
Oh, that's a good point. I'd want to be on the pike.
That's a heck
I
of a
have I, I
trade-off.
have such I have such poor road skills that I always end up with traffic jams, which is why I put them on down there.
Have you
I
tried
don't
moving
really.
wagons, sir? It's no picnic.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to that. I remember having the trouble in was it Johnson's retreat on the road to Richmond. That was like traffic jam city, and you made me pay for those traffic jams too, as I recall. Yeah, that's a good point about rain. And for new players, what he's referring to is the movement point is significantly higher on a regular road than a pike. Uh, that half of movement point is crucial,
Yeah, it certainly adds up.
especially if you're chasing somebody. But on the other hand, if I have them on the road, I'm going to do that. I don't want to. This is belabor this. We'll just put them there for now, and that's the last of the reinforcements for me. So I'm going to close my window.
Okay. Well, thankfully, I guess. I mean, better. Well, I don't know. Maybe having them come in at turn 5 would have been a little bit nicer, but all right. Well, it's time for leader transfers. Let's see. What can I do here? Schofield is going to need to come up here and coordinate. So I'm going to move him up to Ruger. And Stanley will stay where he. Yeah, he will stay where he is for now. And Hatch will stay where he is. So that's it for me.
Okay, as you said, I can't move Forrest or Buford. Jackson can't go over to his other guy, so they're all stuck. Chalmers is stuck. He's fine where he is. I'm going to move Cheatham back to his 2 divisions on the road there, and I'll move Hood with him. Claiborne kind of out there in front. I'll leave Lee where he is. So yeah, that's it for me.
All right, I believe it is your turn to do the first initiative.
Here we go. Initiative. It's yours with a 4, and I really
Okay.
needed that. Spec Forest is going to be attacked here.
Yeah, I need to make the effort here. There's no guarantee that Hatch is going to be able to pull off an assault. We'll take Kuhn to 1. See, this is the mental disorder that comes with when you talk these things out to yourself and try to figure what is the best way to do this. This will happen to you too, new players. All right, I think we're just going to do a march with Kuhn. So here's +1 to his march, and he gets comparable
That's
to
what
an
he needs.
assault. Yeah. So
Yep, that's
we
what he
will
needed.
we will make the attack on the march now against Forest. So it is a +1 for prepared and a +2 for a final flank because it is cavalry on cavalry and it is a full flank, which normally +4 becomes a +2 for cavalry engagements. So, and I've got 1 artillery, and you've got 2, so you're enrolling, so I'm going to lose 1 for that. And I'm going to lose 1 for tactical. So I see +3 -2. Is that what you see? So it's just a +1 attack then.
Yeah, +1 final. Yeah.
Okay, so here we go. Union on the left. +1. Oh. Ouch. It's not a 1/6, but it's bad enough. So it's a -3 on 2. I'm going to give you a D. Look at that. I'm going to give you 1 manpower. And you take nothing for it.
Oh, yeah.
That
Okay.
is a shame. That is a low down, dirty shame. Okay, and
Saved you a little bit in post there by pulling your expletive deleted.
oh man, how it breaks the heart. All right, well, nothing there. So initiative, it's mine again. All right, Stanley will activate waters and wood. Here's the movement. Yeah, it's terrible. So he's going to. So he'll go to there. He has 1 left. What would Forrest like to do?
We'll stand our ground.
Okay. Wood will get extended march. It is a +1. He's okay. So he'll go 1 and 2. Initiative. It's yours. A great chance was lost. That's a preview for our next scenario.
Oh boy. I'm looking at flanks refused, abattis, move them 1 hex to 1121.
Oh no, yeah, you
Or
got
launch an attack against
the
Hatch.
whole
Do an
plethora
attack
of.
against Coon.
That's right. All these possibilities, all with pluses and minuses.
Which gets me out of the hole if it comes off. At the same time, I love blocking that road and sticking all those guys down there a long ways from where they need to be. So with all that in consideration, I'm sure the internet will tell me how dumb this is, what I'm going to do.
You keep saying that. I don't think it means what you think it means.
Well, we'll see. Now let's see. Forrest is going to attempt an assault on Coon with Ross and Bell.
Okay.
Because that would get me out of the flank if it comes off and things go well. Don't have to worry about extend marches, which I would have to. So here's the attempt. It's a 3, so it does come off. So I have a type of a +1, tactical of a +1. Forest gives me another +1. The ratio is I have 1.5.
It's 3 to 1. Yep.
Half is a +2. Oh, I forgot about artillery. Yeah, -1 artillery. So the final is going to be 5 up and 1 down for a final of a +4.
It ain't much cannon, but it's something.
It's something, yeah. It could make a huge difference here because I got to push you out of the way. +4.
Oh, man.
+9 to 3.
+6. That wipes them out, doesn't it?
+6.
Yeah. It's at 1 DR. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, so Hatch must go to the nearest. I guess he can go to
Croxton, I guess.
He's got to come around to Croxton, so he will come boop, boop, to there, and Coon is gone.
It's capture.
And we will give you another manpower. So you're sitting at 8 points, -8 points for me on manpower losses. So that is really eating into my bottom line there about what I can do.
We're gonna go ahead and take Pleasant Grove. We're gonna get some space. Maybe tempt Whitaker to come south. Okay, initiative. It's mine. I have got to get Lee 2 of his divisions across the river, so before the rain comes. So Lee is going to activate Johnson and Stevenson. Here's their movement. 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Initiative. Mine again. Lee again. Here's their movement. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Stevenson comes in right behind him. Initiative. Yours.
Stanley will activate Waters and Wood. And Wood will have another extended march. Here's their movement. It's a 6. He's going to transfer to Wood. Waters is going to go 1 to there. Would you like to do anything?
We'll stand.
Okay. And then Stanley will come along 1, 2. Extended march here. Plus 2 now. And he's going to lose a manpower. I am there.
We'll stand. If you have any movement points left.
I do. I have 5 left. So
we'll stand.
Okay. So we will make a prepared attack on you because I gotta get you out of here. So it's a +1 prep. Tactical is the same. I've got a +1 for 2-to-1 ratio, and then -1 for artillery. So 2 up, 1 down.
+1 final.
All right, here goes. +1 Union. It's +1.
It's a D for me.
And just a D for me. Phew. Okay. Okay. So initiative. Mine. Okay. Stanley's going to activate Wagon C. Here's their movement +1. It's 4. I'll go 1, 2, 3, 4. Initiative. Yours.
Chalmers is going to activate Rucker and Biffle. Here's their movement +2. 7. Biffle's going to go first. Chalmers is going to go with him 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Rucker's just going to go right on top of him. Initiative. It's yours.
Okay. Stanley will activate Wagon Train C2. Here's your movement +1. It is at 6. So I'll just go to there. Initiative. Mine again. Yep. Might as well take him to 3. Wagon Train to 3. Wagon C. Here's their movement by themselves now. 5. Here's their extended march +2. And they will flip. Oops, not that. Flip. Disorganized. There we go. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Initiative is mine. Schofield will activate Wagon A, Wagon B, Opdyke, and Ruger. So everybody in range. Take them to 1. Here's their movement. +1. It's 4. So Opdyke 1, 2, 3. Schofield and Ruger 1, 2, 3. Wagon Train A 1, 2, 3. Actually, Schofield can go 4 there. And then Wagon Train B 1, 2, 3, and 4. Initiative. It's mine again. Do Wagner. Here's his march. 3. He'll go 1, 2, then 3. Initiative. It is yours.
Stewart will activate French. Here's his movement. It's 1. Go 1, 2, 3. Initiative. It's mine again. So Stewart will activate French again. Here's his movement. It's 1 again. Completely useless French. Completely useless. 1, 2, 3. Move him to there. Initiative. Mine again. Stewart will activate Walthall this time. Here's his movement. That's a little better. 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Initiative. Yours.
We'll activate Hatch. Croxton. Here's his movement. It's 10. Just go right to there. Initiative. Yours.
Stuart will activate Luring. Here's his movement. 2. So they get to go 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Initiative. It's yours.
We will activate Whitaker. And get him moving. Here's his march. 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Initiative. Mine again. Well, since Lee has done laps around the Indiana boys, I guess there's no point to keep them there anymore, so we will get rid of their entrenchments. 91st Indiana. Here's their march. That's 2. So 1, 2. Initiative. Mine again. We'll move 91st again. Here's the march. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Initiative. Yours.
This time Stuart's going to activate all 3 of his brigades. Loring goes to fatigue 3, or 2. Wathel goes to fatigue 2, and French is going to go to fatigue 4. No, fatigue 3. Why does he show his green? He was already... I only activated him twice. So he's going to fatigue 3. So he'll need an extended march. So here's their movement. 4, so 6. Here's French's extended march. He's okay. He is going to force march French. Here's his additional force march roll. So 4, so he loses a manpower. He gets 3, so he can move up to 9 hexes. He's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. He has 1 movement point remaining. What would Capron like to do?
We'll stay.
Okay, he's going to stop there. Wathel's going to force march as well. And Stuart is going to transfer to Wathel. Here's his force march roll. 3. He loses a manpower. So he can go up to, he's going to get to go 8 hexes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Loring is going to force march. Here's his force march roll. 3, so he gets an additional, he loses a manpower. And he also gets to go 8. 1, 2, 4, 6, 7, 8. Initiative. It's yours.
Boy, oh boy. These damn wagons. It's a tough choice, but I think Whitaker has to defend. So Whitaker will march. Here is his movement. Yikes. Yikes, yikes, yikes. And his extended +1. That is not the right.
Wow.
Yeah. It never...
I've had that happen to me tonight.
Oh,
or this
boy,
afternoon.
oh boy, oh boy. Alright, so he's going to flip. And he will go to there. Because that's all he can do. Initiative. It's mine again. Now the trouble with wagons is, according to the victory schedule here, I'd lose 2 victory points for any kind of losses by a wagon. So It's
Right.
extended march, yeah, zone to zone, anything. So it's -2. So I can't move the wagon, and I can't seem to get closer without screwing things up on that. So I guess what we'll do is we'll take Capron out of his entrenchments. Here's his march. 9. So he will go 4, 7, 8, 9 to there. Initiative. It's yours.
Really hoping there you'd pull Cox out of Columbia.
I thought about it. I really thought about it, but
Yeah.
that 33 fort is pretty nice.
Yeah, and that opens you up to me stealing 12 points. Yeah, I think this is a good play. Stewart is going to activate Waffle and French. Waffle goes to fatigue 3. French is going to go to fatigue 4. So they're both going to need extended marches. Here's their movement. +2 is an 8. We're going to move French first. Here's his extended march. He loses a manpower. Disappointing because this is going to have to now become very difficult. So he's going to move 1 to there. What would Capron like to do?
And you've got a bunch left.
Yes, I moved 1, so I have 7 left. I have 7 remaining.
Yes, we will do a cav retreat. It's a small force. It is, yeah, so it's a -2. So here's the -2 roll. So it is a 1 split in half, which means nothing to you. They flip and get that. They'll go 1, 2, 3, and 4. All right. Go ahead.
French is going to move to the Brook Farm. He is not going to go any further. Here's Waffle's extended march. So 1, so he's okay. So we had a movement of 8. So he's going to go 1, 2. He has 6 remaining. So he's going to attempt to he's going to launch a prepared assault on wagon train C. So this is going to be a type of a +1. The tactical is a +3.
Mm-hmm.
I have a flank of a +2, and the artillery doesn't count because you don't have any artillery. And I have a ratio of 3 to 1, so the ratio is a +2. So I have +8 final.
Wow. I am about to lose 4 victory points, I think.
Here we go, +8. Uh,
Yeah. +9, so that's easily 2 DR. Yeah. Okay. So wagon C is gone bye-bye. So that will be 2 manpower losses for you there. And that still counts. So we'll delete him. Good job. And we'll take 2 more manpower losses there. Okay.
I can advance if I want. So let's see, I used
Used 4
4
for
for
that.
that, and I moved
I think you'd moved 2, right?
So that's 6. I have 1 more movement point remaining. I'm going to leave him there. He's blocking that road. You still have a couple divisions. You have 1 division to the south. So I'll leave Stewart there. Initiative. It's mine. I'm going to take Johnson and Stevenson to take 3. Here's their movement. It's a 7. Here is Johnson's extended march. It's 3. He's okay. He's just going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Stevenson's extended march. He's okay. He's going to go in right behind him. Initiative. It's mine. Cheatham's going to activate Bate and Brown. It's their movement. 6. Round first. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. 8's going to go in behind him. And these guys will travel with bait. Initiative. It's mine again. Activate Clayton by himself. Here's his movement. It's 5 plus 1 is 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. He wanted to get to the female academy, but he didn't make it. Initiative. Mine again. We'll activate Clayton again. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Got him on the pike. Initiative. And
It's
we have
raining!
rain.
Hooray!
It's raining man. Okay, with that, Cheatham will activate all 3 of his brigades, Brown, Claiborne, and Bate. Here's their movement. The 6. They're going to transfer. Cheatham and Hood are going to transfer to Claiborne. No extended marches, so it's going to be 1.5, 3, 4.5, 6 to St. John Church. Brown will follow behind. Bate will follow behind.
Aren't those pikes just the greatest in the rain?
Yeah, I was. I got lucky with that rain coming after I did what I needed to do with Stuart. Initiative, yours.
All right. I believe I am in a position where I am going to pass.
Okay. I'm going to just move a couple of my cab units here. Crossland by himself. Here's his movement. There's an 11. I think he gets a +1, so it's going to be 12.
Well, Jackson could activate him, right? Oh no, he's a
No,
Buford, right? Yeah.
Yeah, he's Buford's. Buford's way down there. So
But he's a 12.
So 2, 4, 6, 8 to the Cotton Gin, 10, 12. Initiative. It's mine. Jackson will activate Armstrong. And here's his movement. It's 6 plus 2 is 8. 2, 4, 6. That would be 7.5 to there. Initiative. Mine was 5. Yeah, try it. Forrest will activate Crossland. Movement. 6, so it's +3 is 9. Force will transfer to him, and he's going to assault Capron with a prepared assault. So the type is going to be a +1. The tactical is a +2. The ratio is a +1. I have 1 to 1.5, so it's going to be a +1 ratio.
-1 for the rain.
Oh, -1 for the rain.
Blessed rain.
What do I have for a flank? I have Stuart to the
You got
north.
5 hexes covered.
So a +1 flank.
Yes, because it's all cavalry, right?
5 up and 1 down for a final of a +4.
That's ugly.
+4. +3 final. Just a DR. An FA for me.
Okay. I had not expected such good fortune. So we will go 1, 2, 3, and 4.
I'll leave them where they are. Initiative. It's yours.
I will pass.
I believe I will pass as well.
Okay. I'm hitting the recover, and this is a normal recover as we would expect. So we'll do that. Quick recover. Confirming we are on turn 5 of 7. And wow, this is This is the ugliest mess I think I've ever beholden, because I'm actually running, I'm crunching the numbers constantly, and I think it's almost untenable for me, because here at turn 5, we know I'm not there's I had 7 possible. Let's see, I had 5. No, I had 8 possible. One of them is completely gone, the wagon. So that means I have 7 possible times 7. That's 49 points. VP wise, manpower losses, I'm at minus 12. So, so 37, even if I got everybody there, that would still be 3 shy. You know what that means, right? This is a pivot point. This is an axis point where now I have to reassess of going on the offensive, right?
Yeah.
Because I have to, now that I know that there's a premium on Confederate losses more than mine, I need to shrink that gap. So you can expect that turns 5, 6, and 7, I think, may be where they turn around and they bloody the bully's nose. They give him a pop in the face, right? Um, so we will definitely have to consider that. To follow up on that concept there about whether or not I'm going to switch modes here from flight to offensive. I love when you and I play that no matter which of us it is, you or me, every week when we look at the score and we look at the points that the individual has to earn, there's always this moment where both of us go, yeah, there's just no way. There's just no way mathematically. I can't do it. I don't know how I'm going to do this. Sometimes it works out, and we do pull it out. You more than me, sir, I think. But this one, I'm sitting there puzzling over. I was like, ah, oh, gosh, I've lost so much in manpower. How do I get this back? How do I close that gap? Is it even possible? Just that's one of the things that always strikes me funny, is that you and I both do that. We're like, no, this is over. I can't possibly. And then sometimes you pull it out. One thing I did notice that I overlooked on turns 3 and 4, my potential manpower increases. Uh, so I'm going to take my rolls for that, if you don't mind.
Yeah, absolutely. And it could have changed the outcome here. It's I guess we need to kind of maybe before each one just come up with our own sequence of play and make sure we get all the details in there.
Yeah, I mean, I love the one that you had come up with during on to Richmond, but this is, yeah. I mean, it's funny that it's after the Union turn restrictions. It's like down near the bottom of the page, and it's the next one in line. And I even went, hey, turn 3. What's different about this? And I saw the rain thing, but I didn't even see that.
Yep.
Oh yeah, I can get manpower now. That would be kind of helpful. So I'm going to do one for turn 3 first. And on this, I didn't go into great detail, but I'll roll the die, and if I get a 3 or 5, then I get a single infantry unit manpower. If I get a 2 or a 4, I get a single cavalry. 6, I get both, and 1, I get nothing. So that's when I'll put the Price is Right womp 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 music in. So I'll do that twice, and what I'll do is I'll put them in units that would not necessarily have benefited or would have used them in 3 or 4. I think that would, maybe Hatch, but because he didn't do anything, but I definitely don't want it to have affected the outcome of something that's already occurred. So here's the turn 3 roll. Let's see what we get. It's a 1, so nothing. Because it always shines on me. All right, here's the turn 4. Manpower 5. Okay, so on that one I will get a single infantry. So I think I'm just going to put it on, and the restriction is you can't bring him over. I can't put him on Cox because that would put him over 11 manpower. I'll put him with Ruger. That's fine. So Ruger will increase up to 3. There we go. All right. So that has been accounted for. So now here we are at the beginning of turn 5. You have done all of your arrivals, so we don't have to worry about that. I will make my attempt this time for the same thing. So here's that. And it's a 2, so I think that's a cavalry.
Mm-hmm.
I think I will add that to Hatch. Bring him up to 3. And now we are completely correct. And we will keep an eye on that for turns 6 and 7, should they be applicable. And All right, so I think it's leader transfer time. I'm going to move Schofield to Wagner. That is the only one I'm going to do. Stanley cannot go anywhere, I don't think. I don't think he can get to 10 without going into all your zones. That's it for me.
I'll move Forrest down back to Ross and Buford and Bell. I'll leave everybody else where they are, I think.
Yeah, I think all your infantry has been doing dynamite thus far, so yeah, don't change a good thing.
Yeah, I'm.
All right. Well, we've done all that, so let's do our first initiative. Here we go. And it is yours, sir.
Forrest is going to activate Ross, Bell, and Crossland. Bell, I can entrench with one unit and move another unit, right? The
You
entrenchment stuff?
certainly can, yes.
Okay, so Bell is going to put up a Batiste, and he does not have to roll for extended march, correct?
That is correct.
Now that says A1.
Right, so he's a Abatis, which is just level 1, which is 1.5.
Oh, 1.5. So he does get a 1.5.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
And Crossland is going to move. So here's his movement roll. It's 11, which is more than enough. And here's his extended march. 3. So he's okay. And he's just going to do a min move to there. Initiative. It's yours.
All right. To have Schofield activate basically everybody on, yeah, wagon A and B, Opdyke, and he can't get to Ruger. So just those three. Here's their movement +1. It's a 6. All right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right. Initiative. It's mine again. Ruger's going to march. Fatigue level 1. Here's his movement. Yep, that's normal. There we go. Initiative. It's mine again. O'More will come out of his entrenchments. Here's his movement. There's a big 6. When I don't need a 6, but we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Initiative. Mine again. Ruger will go to 2. Here's his movement. It's 2. So he'll go 1, 2 to Poplar Grove. Initiative. Wow. 91st Indiana. Take them to 1. Here's their movement. 6. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Initiative. Wow.
Just let me know when you
Yeah, no.
uh,
Gotta keep an eye on Lee up there. It's funny how this is shifting. I mean, it's neat that this is shifting phases now that I gotta protect the wagons up here. We're gonna have Schofield activate Whitaker, Cox, and Wagner. Here's their movement +1.
you said +1. Yes.
Yeah, +1. But that's hooray. All right, so I don't have to worry about Columbia anymore. So we're gonna go.
Yeah, that's correct.
1,
yeah.
2, 1, 2, and 1. All right, rear guard Whitaker. Initiative. Wow. Okay. Well, let's keep going. Let's see if we can't press it a little farther. I'll go to 2. Here's their movement +1. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Cox will go 1, 2, 3, 4. Whitaker's got an extended march now, +1. He's okay. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Initiative. It's yours.
Um, dang.
A great chance was lost.
Indeed. Hood is furious. He's yelling at somebody.
Old Pat Cleburne's taking all the heat.
Lee's going to activate Johnson and Stevenson. Here's their movement. 3 plus 2 is 5. So they're going to continue down that just trace. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Stevenson's going to follow along behind. Initiative. It's mine. Forrest can activate Jackson, so I'll give you +3 to this roll. He's going to activate Armstrong. There's their movement. Simple math. 2 plus 3 is 5. Go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Initiative. It's yours.
Okay. Yeah, we'll take Capron to 2. Here's his movement. It's 5. And here's his extended march +1. He's okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Initiative. Mine again. We will have Stanley activate Wood and Waters. Here's their movement. +1. It's a 6. Do extended march for Wood. +1. And he's going to lose a manpower. But that changes him not at all, so would you like to do anything, Mr. Forrest?
That stack is going to stand.
Okay. So we've got 6 movement. Waters will go first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And Stanley and Wood will follow behind.
Now, could Waters have consolidated with Wood?
No, they're not part of the same group. Post could have gone with with Wood, but he evaporated. Waters has to go with Whitaker way up there because they're part of the first.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I spent some time offline going, okay, no, oh. So, yeah, I should have done that right when they were all in line with each other. That's something, so write that down for next week. Go ahead and consolidate early because it's just a big mess otherwise. All right, so
That was something I was looking at when I was thinking. I can see why they did it.
Headaches. Lots and lots of headaches.
Not necessarily headaches. I mean, anyway. Okay.
So no, speak your mind. They're here to learn.
Well, I don't know. I mean, this has been.
It's educational.
It is. This is one I think I'll say a dozen times.
Oh yeah. I mean, the vagaries of the dice, of course, and the rain. But each situation is going to unfurl a little differently.
Very differently.
Okay, so I think I need to now screen for Stanley. So let's roll initiative first. It's mine. So
yeah,
yay!
There,
so Croxton will go to 1. Hatch will activate him. Here's his movement +1. It is a 7. We'll go 1, 2, 3, 4. Initiative. It is yours.
Let's bring Chatham's division into this. Core, I should say. We're going to activate all 3. I do think there's a lot of wisdom to your idea that says, don't do this. But to do that successfully, I should move Chatham to the back. So here's their movement.
Ooh.
Of course, sometimes it works out. So, but I am going to transfer Chatham and Hood to the back. Claiborne's going to take the lead with an 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 2 remaining. What would Capron like to do?
It's going to be a minus. It's just terrible all around. So we'll do a cav retreat and just hope for it's a -3 or 4, I think, because he's a super small. So here, just hoping not for a manpower loss. Okay, so he's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And you'd lose nothing.
He's going to go to the blacksmith shop for 7. Brown's going to come 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Coming behind 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. Well, we'll go 8 to there. No points for Columbia. 1 turn too late. Okay, initiative. It's yours.
Schofield will activate everybody. Here's the movement +1. Yes, that's the inhalation of breath, meaning terrible. All right. So we're gonna have to do it like this. We'll go 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Ruger's gonna go. He's got an extended march, so Ruger +1. He's okay. He's gonna go 1, 2. Whitaker first. He'll go 1, 2. His extended march is a +2 now. He's okay. And Cox has an extended march. Flips. What I wouldn't give to not fail a critical extended march roll.
Yeah, that was the one. That's the one big
That's the
unit you
one.
had left.
Yep. So he's gonna go. Yeah, he'll go there. Just try to act as some kind of a rear guard. All right. Initiative. It is yours.
Gonna catch Whitaker on the side of the Rutherford Creek. Am I?
If you keep rolling those 6s for movement with Cheatham's Corps there, I think we may be done at turn 6.
Problem is, I'm not sure what to do with them. Well, let's do Chalmers Division. There we go. 15.
Wow!
Finally.
Killing me, man.
Okay, so.
You just pick a spot on the map and you just put them there. That's
Well, not really. Fortunately, roads are not favorable. Or I'd like to. Or if I just jump across the woods, it's 6. So let's just
to which Chalmers
6.
says, "Roads? Where we're going, we don't need roads."
Oh man, I was eating dinner. I was watching Back to the Future.
See, Doc Brown is right.
6, 7. Crossed rolling is
3.
3.
Yep.
So that's 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Initiative. It's mine.
Why do you hurt me, Michael? Why?
Okay, well, I'll keep him there because you're going to have to march
Yeah,
to get there.
yeah. I mean, we've got to deal with him sometime, right?
Let's bring Clayton down, see how he does. Here's his movement. It's a 6. 4, 6 to Shackley. Initiative. It's yours.
Right. And we will get the 123 Indiana going. Here's their movement. 3. 1, 2, 3. That was easy. Initiative. Fine. Take them to 2. Movement. 3. 1, 2, 3. Initiative. We'll bring 91st Indiana down. So here's their movement. It's a 2. Gosh. 1, 2. Initiative. It's yours.
To make Clayton again. It's his movement. 3. 1, 2, 3. He's going to go fishing at the fish pond. Initiative. It's mine. Activate Loring by himself. Here's his movement. It's 3, he's 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Initiative. It's yours.
I will activate O more to 2. Here's his movement. He will go 1, 2, 3 to Ruger. Initiative. It's yours.
Cheatham will activate Clayburn. Here's his movement. It's 3. You can go 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Initiative. It's yours.
Schofield will activate Wagner to 3. Here's his movement +1. And here's his extended march +1. So he will go 1, 2, and 3. Initiative. It's mine again. Ruger will consolidate with O'More, or O'More will consolidate into Ruger, so he'll become a 7 now. 1, 2, 3, 4. And O'More goes away, and that is my whole initiative, so here's the next one. It's yours.
Okay. Cheatham will activate both Bait and Brown. Here's their movement. 3. Hood and Cheatham will transfer to Brown. It's going to go 1, 2, 3. Bait's going to go 1, 2, 3 to there. Initiative. It's mine. I'm going to pass.
I think I'm going to pass as well.
Okay.
Because I'll just be doing more damage to myself anymore marching. Yeah. So, alright. We will call that a day. We're going to hit recovery on turn 5. We are now on turn 6 of 7. Here is my manpower attempt. I'll get a 2. So that is cavalry. So we will bump Capron back up and give him a manpower. So he's now a 2-1 or a 1-2, whatever. Okay. Leader transfers. Stanley and Hatch are just way out of range for anything. Yeah, I'll leave Schofield where he is. He's in range of everybody, with the exception of Cox. So that's it for me.
Okay. I'll transfer Stewart to French and Forrest to Jackson. Yeah, Hood where he is. Lee is fine where he is.
All right. Would you like to do the honors for our initiative?
I will. And you did your manpower.
I did.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. It's yours.
I believe we will have Schofield activate Wagon A and B, Opdyke, Wagner, who he's with, Ruger, and Whitaker. Here is their movement +1. It's not getting much better. Alright. Okay. Opdyke is going to go to here. Wagon A is going to go 1, 2, Wagon B, 1, 2, Ruger. I'll do him in a moment. Schofield will go here. 1, 2. Whitaker. 1, 2, and Ruger is going to go 1, 2. Oh, 3. I got 3. Duh. All right. Jeez. I'm losing my ability to count. So Whitaker will actually go 3 to there. And Ruger can get 1 more. He'll stay there. I think that's good. Initiative. It's mine again. Wagner's going to absorb Opdyke. So he'll go up 2. And
Carol Franklin just got absorbed.
and we delete him. Okay. Alright, initiative. It's mine again.
You can't complain about your string of initiatives.
I cannot. I cannot. I wish that I could effectively, march with them, but every time I seem to roll.
You've been seriously, throwing the word there with the your movement tonight.
Okay. Well, then we will just have to. So I better move him first. Cox will march. Here's his movement. It's 2. So he will just go 1, 2. Initiative. Okay, then. Schofield will activate everybody in range again. So here's their movement plus 1. It's 5. Wagon A. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wagon B. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Schofield. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's got an extended march. Here it is. He will lose a manpower. He just lost one of the ones he got. Boo! Alright. Opdyke was good for something. Ruger will get 5. Yes. Here's his extended march. He's okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Whitaker, extended march. He's okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, initiative. Keep them coming, baby. Cox will go to 2. Here's his movement. Extended march for him, plus 1. It's okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Initiative. Mine. Ruger will absorb the 91st Indiana. And initiative. Mine. Wow. Okay.
Turn 6, correct?
It is turn 6. Capron will move. Here's his movement. 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Initiative? Man. Okay. So we'll attempt to move Wood and Waters here. They'll go to 1. Here is their movement. Plus 1. 4. Since Waters is small enough, they'll just go 3 and 4. Initiative. This must be a record. This is like 8, 9 in a row.
Something like that. I don't know. You have to take a look. I forgot to throw up, add my fatigues to Rucker and Biffle, so I just did that.
Okay. So Wood and Waters to 2. Here's their movement. Grr. Extended march for Wood. He's okay. Well, just go 1, 2 to there. I don't think they're going to make it to Franklin. Initiative. It's yours now.
Okay.
Put down that book.
So Chalmers is going to activate Rucker and Biffle to fatigue 2. Here's their movement. Can open for a rain turn, but it doesn't happen. It's 9. Go 1, 2, 3, 4. Make you fight to get to that forward initiative. And it's yours again.
Yep.
I got to play my one game, one turn.
Hatch will activate Croxton. Here's their movement, +1. It's 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Initiative. Yours.
Chalmers will activate Rucker Biffle to fatigue 3, and they're going to put up an Abatisse apiece. Initiative. It's yours.
Okay. Stanley will activate Wood and Waters to 3. Here's their movement, +1. Still not great. So we're going to have an extended march for... Well, we'll move Waters first. So 1, 2, 3. And then Wood's extended march now, +2. And he's going to lose manpower. So he goes 1, 2, 3. Alright, initiative. It's mine. 123 Indiana. Here's their movement. 1.
They don't want to get into the fight.
No, they've heard stories. Alright, initiative. Mine again. 100.
Okay, you need to go through, and I want to see at the end of this how many initiatives you got versus how many I got.
Alright, here's their movement. 3. 1, 2, 3. Alright, initiative. Yours.
Lee's going to activate Johnson and Stevenson. Okay, I'm going to play this as if it's a real war. I'm going to I'm going to activate Stevenson. I mean, I'm trying to decide, I could go after Brentwood and try to take another 4. Or I could potentially try to block your completely LOC and cut you off. So I'd have to come in close to Franklin. I'd have to go to Owen and Carter.
Basically, yeah, surround it.
And that leaves me open to flank attacks from you to come in and not only pick up manpower losses and potentially switch the game, right? Or I could just pass. Or I could just pass. Right. Or I could try to go after Brentwood, and if I get a good flank, go for it or not.
Sure.
I'm going to try to cut you off. So, because, let's play for it.
Sure.
Let's go for it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's, unless you, or I could pass and just, because at this point, right? I mean,
exactly.
I'm going to go.
Exactly. My only option is to inflict manpower losses on you somehow.
And I could run away.
Or you could run away.
And that's no fun. And Rat Patrol doesn't come on until 10, so that's a terrible show. I loved that show as a kid. Of course, I was like 5.
It's right up there up there with Combat.
Combat is on before Rat Patrol.
Of course it is.
And after it is 12 o'clock high. Black Sheep is on right now.
So. Yes, I love Black Sheep.
So we're going to increase their Stevenson. Lee's going to Johnson and Stevenson to fatigue. And here's their movement. 4. Stevenson's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. Johnson's going to go 1, 3. Okay, initiative. Dang, at some point, the initiative's got to come my way.
All right.
Of course, I've telegraphed what I'm doing. But anyway.
Well, I mean, let's march Hammond up here. So here's their movement.
Now, can he take the railroad?
Hammond's a cavalry, so no. It was only more that could do that. Follow the Hillsborough Pike. 1, 2, 3. Of course, Granny White's tempting too. 4, 5, 6. Initiative. It is yours.
Lee's going to activate Johnson and Stevenson. Their movement. 6, 8. Stevenson's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And Lee's just going to go to Owen.
That'll certainly do it.
Initiative. It's mine. Okay, they're gonna go to fatigue 3. They're gonna build entrenchments. Initiative. It's yours.
All right. So, short of having the pike, if I have a line of communication of 10 movement points to Franklin, that would still count. So basically, where wagon train A is coming around that minor impediment.
That's true.
Yeah, 35. If I can get them down to like 35, 15 and closer, they have a line of
Yep,
communication.
that does it.
All right, we'll have Schofield activate. So Schofield's going to activate Wagon A and Wagon B and Wagner. I really need to just get everybody up there. Okay, so he's just going to do everybody in range. This is probably a mistake. I'll add it to my list of mistakes for today. They'll all go to 3. They're bunches and bunches of fatigue rolls, or extended march rolls. Okay, so here's +1. It's a 6.
Get off.
So Wagon A, here's his extended march, +3 now. 1 for Union, 1 for Wagon Train, 1 for being north of the Duck, so +3. So almost assured. Here we go. Yes, so he flips. So he's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wagon B +3. He's going to flip. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. All right, Wagner is going to be +2, and he's going to lose manpower. He's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Cox. Yeah, Cox is +2. He's going to lose manpower. He's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And Wicker +2. He's going to lose manpower. Go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, initiative. It is yours.
Okay, Cheatham's going to activate Clayburn. Here's his movement. 2 plus 2 is 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Initiative. It's mine. Cheatham's going to activate Bait. Says movement. 1, he's going to go 3. 1, 2, 3. Initiative. Yours.
Ruger will go to 3. Here's his movement. Watch this. Here's his extended march +2. He's 5. Oh, I'm stunned. Up to Duck River Ridge. Initiative. Yours.
Stevenson is actually going to put up a flanks refused. So he's going to go and increase his fatigue to 4. Here's his extended march. 5, and he's going to have to flip. Dang. But he does get his flanks refused up. Initiative. It's yours.
We'll move Capron to 2. Here's his march. 4. Here's his extended march. Murphy's Law. All right, he goes 1, 2, 3, and 4. Initiative. Mine. Hammond will march. Here's his movement. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Initiative. Yours.
Cheatham will activate Bait again. Says movement. 2 plus 2 is 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Initiative. It's mine. She don't activate Brown. It's his movement. 5 plus 2 is 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Initiative. Mine. We'll activate Clayton by himself. His movement is 4. Go 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Initiative. It's yours.
I'll pass.
Okay. I'll activate, Stuart will activate his 3. Here's our movement. 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oops, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 2, 3, 6, 7. Initiative. It's mine. She don't activate Brown and Claiborne. It's their movement. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Ring Hill. Initiative. It's yours.
I'll have my Stuart cavalry. They will march to fatigue 1. Here's their movement. 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Initiative. Mine again. They will go to 2. Just slide 1 hex there to join. And initiative. Mine. Pass.
Force will activate Armstrong and Ross from Jackson's division. Their movement. 7 plus 3 is 10. Ross. 1, 2. 10. 1, 2, 3. 8. 10. Initiative. Yours.
I'll have Hatch take Croxton to 2. Here's their movement. 10. 1, 2, 3, 4. Initiative. It's mine again. Pass.
Force will activate Armstrong and Ross. Movement. Wow. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4, 5. Initiative.
It's
There we
raining.
go. I think with the rain, I'm going to pass.
I will pass as well. So, wow, turn 6, man, brutal, just brutal. I'm recovering, and we have recovered, and we are now on the final turn. Dum dum dum. Yes, turn 7, and I'm still at 6 manpower losses, which is a minus 12. Theoretically, for the moment, with the exception of Ruger, I've got everybody within 10 movement points of a branch coming out of 4011. Let me double check that one. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yes, Whitaker and Cox are both within 10. Wow. You've done a devil of a time blocking me, which it's so it's interesting that you that was just kind of an after thought for you're like, let's just do it because it's historical, but it's something else for me to think about. I had to work around it. Um, and now with Hood approaching from the rear, it's scary. I don't know that I can pull this one out, but turn 7 is sure going to be a fun play. Let's go. Let me see if I get any more manpower here with my roll. It's a 2, so I get another cavalry. I will add that back to Capron. So make him a 2. Guarding that creek. All right. Any thoughts before we proceed on 7?
Not really.
This
I
is
think this
this is
is
an incredibly hard one. For the first time
yeah.
actually playing all 7 turns, it's very very difficult for the. I mean, just so many moving parts. But I could just be totally playing it wrong too. I mean, for all I know.
No, I can't say that I've seen anything that you've done. It's like, oh, why would you do that? I mean, it's
It's certainly nothing creative for the Union here. Obviously, I did not take up the mantle of turning around and punching anybody in the nose. The only opportunity I think I had was with French, who was weak at the time. But that would have meant sacrificing their, coming back across the duck to do that, or
yeah.
to
It's
have
that's
caught.
7 points.
Yeah,
You're really giving away 7, and
right.
it's like, so you'd have to get 3 manpower losses to make up for that.
Correct. Down Ruger. I need to get Ruger over there to at least bring it close. But then even at that point, I'm still down by 10 or 12, and that's not even counting what's going to happen here in turn 7. But let's find out. Go ahead and give us our roll for turn 7.
Okay,
It's mine.
your
All
initiative.
right. Well, we got to go with the obvious. So Schofield has got to move these wagons across the river. So he's going to activate them both to 1. Here's their movement +1. I'm crying inside. I'm just crying inside. All right, come on, mules. I just wish I had the mule driver from Dances with Wolves. All right, 1, 2, but he ended up dead anyway. So 1, 2. All right, fine. Initiative. It's mine again. You know what? I'm just going to go big or go home at this point. We can possibly cut turn 7 quite short here. So Schofield is going to attempt an assault on Stevenson. Hurrah! So we'll go to 1 with Wagner. He's a 4. Good luck with that. Here's the attempt. It comes
Got it.
off. All right, let's try a grand assault with him. And it does not come off. Boo! Yep. So it's just a failed attempt for a grand assault, which we really needed. But that's okay. All right, so here are the numbers. We got a +1 for assault, -1 for ratio because you got 7.5 and I've got 6. 3.5 cannons. You're in clear. Oh, this is gonna be really brutal. Yeah, I'm just gonna give you the game right here. So artillery's a -2. Tactical's a +1. I don't believe I get anything because you got flanks refused on a 4, which would bring it down to a 2 anyway. And then 2 of those are going to come off, so that's a 0 on flank. So it is a -1 by my count.
So the flanks refused. You got all 6 covered. 1 comes off because of Johnson. 1 comes off because of the river. Then it comes off as a 2.
So I think if it's a 2 and it gets reduced down, then I don't even get the benefit of the the +1 because you've got a flanks refused on there. If not, we can certainly and feel free to chime in on those comments sections below, and we will rectify it for future games. But I'm pretty sure it's a 0 because of that. So I'm looking at a -1, which is horrible. But here's the roll. Come on, give me a 6-1 in my favor. No, it's the wrong way.
Oh wow! Yeah.
Yeah, and that I believe is going to be the game because it's a -6 on 6 manpower. There is a -6 pawn 6 is 2d, so I've just given you another 4. Yeah, so there's definitely no coming back from that. So I am saying, here is my sword, Mr. John Bill Hood. So yeah, minus. If we want to do the numbers officially upon the concession, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in range, right? So if we're plugging that into the spreadsheet here, so 5, and so that's 35 points minus. Good God, minus 16. So, what, 19, I believe? And that will give you a nice Confederate substantive victory, if I'm calculating that correctly. And that's, of course, not presuming that if we had played on, that Hood would not have woodshedded everybody else that's still there. But, wow, just brutal. It just went so far wrong right from the get-go in every way, shape, and form. And, you getting down there, and I think that was the first big pivot point, was you got down there and you made me react to, I think it was Johnson or Buford down there in Pleasant Grove. And it's like, oh, all right, we gotta move around that obstacle. And Post got into the woods, and Post got eliminated, and just a mess. What a mess. You have not a lot of work to do next week to raise the bar on this one for the Union. Wow.
Well, I to some extent I took some lessons that what you did to me last week down in that area, which is kind of a nice thing about having these basically the same but different scenarios.
Right. I think the secret is,
and you got some terrible. Oh, yeah. You had great initiatives combined with terrible,
right. and they do not average out. That is not the sum of the parts. So yeah, I mean, I rolled a lot of ones, and that's, that happens when you're the Union. You just can't help it. And then compounded by, oh, now it's time for the extended march roll. Flip, manpower.
Yeah. And it actually, I think the initiative, there was a stretch there where it hurt you. Because with the combined with bad movement, because it actually put you in a situation where you couldn't react. And I was able to get, I think the key was Stewart.
Oh boy.
Moving Stewart's in.
That hurt.
I think that turned everything around.
It really did.
Completely.
Because I was sitting there with the, the he schadenfreude when you're like, oh, he rolled 1 or a 2 and a 2, and then Stewart sent all of his subordinates a sternly worded message that said, you will move, and suddenly they moved. And they got down there and they took out that wagon train, and that was wretched.
And it combined, the force march rolls were good. That combined it. I think that turned everything around, because then it was like I had an wood.
Yeah, that was great. The only part I felt satisfied with or competent with was the period of time there at the beginning of turn 5, I guess. The phase 2 or act 2 of Columbia to Spring Hill. I got everybody moving.
Yeah.
I got everybody at least defending Rutherford Creek. I was pleased by that. It was going well. And then all of a sudden you just got the nitrous oxide in your tanks there with all of Cheatham's corps, and they approached, and it's like, I don't want to push them farther, but I gotta. And then we see the result here. Once Lee got into position, that was all she wrote. So very, very good job as the Confederates on this one. It's going to take me a few plays of this one to really just not beat my head against the wall and try to find that balance.
I sense the designers, when they gave us that option as players to put, I was going to say north, west, that there was a reason for that.
Yes.
And it did play out. Having Lee around that western flank,
right,
I know it had to be like, okay, what's he doing up there? What's he doing?
And you got him up around the Indiana boys before they could even react. I mean, you went right up the Natchez Trace, and At that point, I probably should have abandoned Williamsport there and not. I mean, there's no way to get around them through those woods. So that was great.
Well, the second time I moved them, I was kicking myself because it was like I had left Forest. I got really lucky that Forest wasn't crushed down where Buford is sitting.
I really wanted to, but yeah, when I that was a failed assault because of Hatch.
Yep,
It just that was another beautiful
that was another.
opportunity missed, right?
That was a turning point because one of the things about the Vassal module that I have a hard time with is I don't scroll around. I get kind of like, okay, I was looking up north or west, and then as soon as I should have thrown up a Abattis. I should have done something.
Sure.
Um,
You're not alone. I'm the
it,
same way. It's tunnel vision combined with, oh, why would they put this unit way over here? Because
yeah,
you're going to need it in 4 turns, boy. You know.
right, exactly, yeah. But anyway, yeah, this was. I knew this was going to be a challenge. I'm glad. I mean, great. I think you played well. I can't say you made a mistake. I just think the die rolls went against you
Right.
and
And
couple.
and yet, yeah, I'm not dissatisfied with it at all. I mean, it's a loss, but it was a good competitive loss. I mean, it could have gone either way. I think um, I could have gotten it closer, sure, but when you get a 1-6 like that on the end, it's like there's no point.
Oh, that was, um, yeah.
Many a
That was
heartbreak has started with that passage. I rolled the
that was
1-6.
yeah. That was
Tell me
just
no
if
more.
it goes the other way. What would a 6-1 done the other way?
6-1. Let's see. So I had the negative, so it would have been a 5, which would have been a +4. So a +4 on. He had what 5 in
Five
there, so 1 DR,
and
and it
let's
would have
see.
forced him out, which would have helped a little bit. But ultimately, did I really need to do that attack other than trying to score manpower? Um, I mean, once you put that flanks refused up there, I really should have just bypassed it and said, you know what, just defend for Hood approaching. But even then, I just had a feeling that we were flanked. You had that dug in behind me, and that's it.
This is a fun. I looked at this scenario when you got me the book, and I was like, this is gonna be interesting.
It is, and it's a fast 7 turns, folks. I mean, you saw there where we were just kind of going back and forth. It's like, okay, it's mine. Okay, let's move the Indiana. Boom, boom, boom. And when you don't have a lot of leadership, it's piecemeal, which is kind of a pain in the neck. But that's where that consolidation I think can help early on. So if I'm looking at my personal mistakes on this one, I think early on is consolidate, sacrifice the initiatives, consolidate that group before you even start moving the
Yep.
wagons, and then and
Maybe. Yep.
yeah, and then if let well, I hesitate to say react to what the Confederates are going to do because Forrest or Buford are going to get down there. They're going to block those roads. So the one shining, I guess the silver lining to that is that you can jump down. Um, you can jump down off of the Columbia Pike, perhaps to the railroad, or if push really comes to shove, it's a little more roundabout, but you could head for the Franklin Pike. So it seems like there are three options
Yeah,
there.
that's a
It's
good
very
point.
extreme,
Yeah.
and I was hoping maybe Stanley could do something with it, but Chalmers was just a pain in the neck down there, so that was really good too.
If you can get over there before turn 3,
Yeah, yep,
you don't have to worry about the rain.
exactly. Yeah, and Rain was always in the back of my mind, was pushing those wagons, but I don't want to break them eggs, man. Don't want to break the eggs. But we hope you have enjoyed this playthrough of scenario number 2 tonight, and thank you for a great game. Uh, Take a moment, put your comments down in the section below. Feel free to click the like button and subscribe. That always helps us out. But more than anything, we love to hear what you have to say. So if you saw an oopsie on our part, which I'm sure there were one or two, I mean we even caught some after the fact. But yeah, let us know. We would strategically, I would love to have some ideas about what you would do differently as the union. That's always a good one. But Roger, I look forward to switching sides and seeing how you get those fun wagons up the road.
Yeah, thank you. I look forward to it
There
too.
is
Oh boy.
there is some Schadenfreude in that. It's like, haha, move that wagon to 3, roll a 1, ha, you know.
Yeah, no kidding.
So,
Ugh.
but thank you, sir, and thank you everybody watching,
Thank
and
you.
we will see you all here next time for part 2 of the race to Columbia. Have a good one, Roger.
Good
Good
night.
night.
You too. Bye
Bye.
bye.